Good boy. All right, big baby. All right, guys. Que paso? Welcome to Shay Scanlon. What's going on in your neck of the woods, everybody? Got my Patriots flying Elvis. Still miss Pat the Patriot. Bring back Pat. Bring back Pat. Bring back Pat. Pat the Patriot is the best, man. The best uniforms ever. The old Steve Grogan, Steve Nelson, John Hanna uniforms. Russ Francis, remember that? Oh, man. Stanley Morgan. Yep. Hey, Rob. Hey, Rob members bring back. He would say, bring back Pat. Bring back Pat. Bring back Pat. Pat the Patriot. Pat the Patriot. Yeah, man. Who else we had? Steve Nelson. We had Raymond Claiborne. Remember him? We had then they got Craig James came when they went to the Super Bowl when they beat Miami in Miami in 1985, and then they got spanked by the Bears 46-10 after Stanley Morgan missed. I don't think he. I did. Thanks, Jeremy. I don't think he missed it. I think he. I think John Hanna 73 from the University of Georgia. I think Gary Fensick used to be the right on there. Used to be this free strong safety for the Bears. I think he got a pinky on that ball that Tony Eason had thrown to Steve Morgan on a slant pass. Steve Nelson, there you go, 57. Steve Nelson, 57. Yep, exactly. Yes, sir. Hey, Joe. Que paso? My pronoun is 1776. Right on. We'll all be saying pronouns. All be. Jeremy or Eric just sent me the Kellogg's that they're not having the boxes are for cereals, not for identifying yourself as a. Look, I think we've got to recognize. Hey, Kim. I think we've got to recognize the Sam Bam Cunningham. Yep. So, Rob, why does yeah, exactly. Why does Sam Cunningham go to USC instead of Alabama? Because he was from Alabama. Anyone want to take a guess why Sam Bam Cunningham went to USC instead of Alabama? Man, I love Stan. I just remember the old days. Like it was like it was yesterday, man. 103 and toasty, man. Woof. That dry up my sinuses. Yeah, right on. Man, that's just some good. It just the sun going down in New England, in northern New England, over Foxborough, Schaefer Stadium, and then it's just even on a 1 p.m. game because the lights go down early in New England. They stay later for the summertime, but the sun goes down early in New England as it goes into the fall. And hey, Mike. Anyway, and then you'd see these. It was just fall was coming. No other way around that. All right. Because we'll go to Chicken Charlie's first. All right. So the first question comes from Chicken Charlie. The answer to the question there, Rob, is 508. You're in the 508. The answer to your question, Rob, which you didn't ask, but I pose it for you, is why did Sam Cunningham go to USC instead of Alabama? Is because Bear Bryant was a racist. He didn't want blacks on his team. And as such, all the good blacks in Alabama went to outside Alabama schools, and they went to he went to USC. And so what happened was USC ended up playing Alabama and just smoked them, ran all over Alabama. And just like everything else, you can be racist until you've got money in the game. And then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I can't be racist anymore. I can't be racist anymore because I'm losing money here. And just like with Jackie Robinson was a Christian, as was Branch Rickey, which is weird that gets overlooked. But their Christian faith allowed them to work together to allow blacks to play Major League Baseball in 1947. And then what happened with Sam Bam Cunningham, he ran all over Alabama. And as such, they said, yeah, I'm bringing black players on. It's actually interesting, man. No different than like Jim Brown running all over the Cleveland Browns. If you ever look at those old videos of Jim Brown just running all over the Browns, it's nuts, man, nuts. Yeah, pretty interesting story of college football. It's amazing. That's why I say if I was a coach in the NFL, I would be going after white cornerbacks and white tailbacks because they are not valued in the NFL. They're like, oh, you don't have enough swivel hips to move in the corners. You're like, it's freaking stupid. I mean, I could get a serious first-rate white cornerback for nothing because no one else wants to hire him, man. Oh, it's nuts. 207. All right. So, right. So he says, look at SCHD and FDL compared. All right. Let's take a look. So what we're going to do there, Chicken Charlie. I already did that one. The 508 is where I'm from. 508 is where I'm from. 508. 508. 207 is where Jeremy lives. All right, let's see here. So we, my friend, are going to go and look at this. All right, cool. There we go. So let's share my screen. Share. SCHD. All right, good. Y'all can see that. So let me get rid of Chicken Charlie's note there. We're going to look at SCHD. SCHD. All right, that's a Schwab U.S. Dividend Equity Fund. All right. Take a gander. A lot of people asking about this. So I think I looked at it once, but I'm not all that familiar with it. All right, so we got lots of info here. So let's see what we're looking at here. Right now it's paying trailing 12 months is paying 2.81. The last 30 days is 3% dividend yield. So this is usually more reflective of the dividend. So right now it's paying 3%. So that's pretty good. I like that, like 3% dividend yield. So now what we want to do is, what's the expense on this guy? Like freaking nothing, I imagine. We're going to go to, where is the expense on this? Anyone see expense? I guess we could look at that. Hold on a second. Yeah, look at that. Schwab analysis. We think this great fund is great. It's the best fund there is. There's no better fund because it's a Schwab fund. So I would be hesitant to buy Schwab's fund. 6 basis points is the expense ratio, 43% turnover, so pretty low turnover. It's not socially responsible, which means I love it. It's socially irresponsible. Yes, I love it. If it's socially irresponsible, I want that baby. All right. So let's see. Let's look at holdings here. How many holdings does it have? 103. All right. So 103 holdings. So it's not a classic index fund, but what I like about VDIGX is only got 46. So it's definitely not a classic index fund. All right. So Home Depot, IBM, Pfizer, Broadcom, BlackRock. Oh, I freaking hate BlackRock. Oh, how I hate those rat finks. Lockheed Martin. A lot of going to be a lot of the same companies that VDIGX can have. All right, so good. So that's pretty good. Their largest holding is Home Depot. The second largest is IBM. All right. And let's just see performance. It looks pretty good to me. I got no qualm with it. None whatsoever. It goes back to what, 2012 it looks like. So $10,000 invested in 2012 is worth almost $40,000 now. Not too shabby. If you bought the Dow Jones U.S. Dividend 100, total return is a little bit better than that, but I mean, who cares? Large value, that would be the value VTV, which I own right there. Worst 3 months is 21%, so that's not so bad. It looks pretty good to me across the board. And I'm sure there's a way to rank this relative to the S&P 500 to put it. I don't know how to do that though. So we'll go to Portfolio Visualizer next and take a gander. Looks pretty solid to me. Let's see distributions, see what the dividends have been paying have been. We always want rising dividends now. So we got total distributions, 50 cents a share last about 2 months ago, 60 cents a share in December, 54. So let's go back to the beginning here. Goes back to 12. Look at this. Yeah, huge rising dividends. 12, 13, 20, 20, 25, 20, 22, 23, 25, 25, 27, 25, 27, 27, 30, 30, 27, 30. Look at that, man. 33, 34. That's what you want. That's what you want. You want those rising dividends. Oh, so let's just look at VWGX. Yeah, I don't see how you could go wrong with this fund, Charlie. Obviously, the minute I say that, it's going to go bankrupt because I said it, and you'll sue me. You'll say, that guy Scanlon, he told me what this never go bad. Hey, why come I can't find dividends? Where's the distribution? So let's take a look at this guy. Wow, this guy's only paying 1.5 right now. Huh. Because this is growing dividends. So what that means is they're not so focused on the yield. They're focused on the growing of the dividend rate. However, we just saw the SCHD has a serious growing dividend rate. So let's see what this guy's been growing from. And we're going to go back 2013, 18, 30, 5 cents, 20 cents. All right, 70 cents, 8, 7, 4. Okay, $1. There we go. So now we're getting the dollars. And it'd be hard to. That's 21 cents. I don't know, man. That's interesting. So growing dividends. I wonder if does it. All right. Does it give us a year open? I wish it gives it. Okay, so I wish it gives a whole year. I'm sure there's a way to find the whole year. I just with some capital gains in there. All right. We got 18, 20, 22. No, that's 2 cents. 20, 20, 20, 21, 18, 24, 24, 24, 20, 30, 20, 30. That's interesting. That is interesting. United Healthcare, Johnson Johnson. So a lot of the similar companies in there. That is, and then there's the other one you had on there, FDL. All right. So let's look up FDL, and then 508 is where I'm from. All right. Let's look at this. That's what the expense rate is. So they got 3.8% dividend yield. Expense ratio of 46 basis points. Turnover is getting a little bit higher, so more tax issues there potentially. Not let okay. 95 holdings. Okay. All right. See distributions here. Let's see again. So we got. I mean, yeah. I mean, it is what it is, man. 15, 18, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 20, 18, 19, 12, 20, 19, 19, 20, 21, 21, 22, 20, 25, 16, 20, 27. You see what I'm saying? They're all rising. Now we're in the 30s. Now that's interesting. Let's look at. I'm not all that concerned about overall performance necessarily. I mean, I am. But I'm not. In of itself, that doesn't. So going back to 2011, this has done exactly what the value funds have done for the most part. Let's look at portfolio visualizer. So let's look at portfolio visualizer. We're going to go to VDIGX. And we're going to do 100% in that. Then we're going to go to FDL. Well, let's do SCHD. Oops, right there. Then we're going to go to FDL. We got one of my sons has 5 of his friends here. They're all in the pool. That's the benefit of a new pool. But Josh, a pool the return on investment is weak. Yeah, the return on fun, the ROF. You ever heard of that? Return on fun? He said, get out there and go to the pool. This is what I always want. Neither my wife or I had a pool. And as such, the idea is like, man, we got a pool. Bring your friends over and hang out at the pool. That's called return on fun. So you got to look beyond ROI all the time, my friends. All right, so let's see what we got here. All right, so which fund is what? The red outperform us portfolio 2. The yellow got skanked. That's portfolio 3, and portfolio 1 was VDIGX. All right, so the SCHD did the best. If SCHD, yep, SCHD, Charlie, going back to 2012, SCHD outperformed. I mean, of the three, SCHD is your best. A close second would be VDIGX, and then the Morningstar, the First Trust falls by the wayside. So I'd nix the First Trust one for sure. Let's see here. Yep. Yeah, man. I mean, the truth is the truth. There's all the way around that. And let's do drawdowns. Hold on just a sec. Yeah, look at that. And then the First Trust one had the biggest drawdown as well. I mean, significantly more downside risk with a whole lot less upside. So let's do this until 2019 so we can not have that drawdown from last year. Let's see what that did here. So let's take out the last year and see what happened. But remember, you can't take out the last year in real life. I'm just curious. And even that, yeah, okay. So yeah, you're gonna, if either one of the two winners there are SCHD and VDIGX for sure, without question. So I would nix the FDL, and I would thanks guys, Chloe. Hey everybody, she got a Sprite shirt on. Mom didn't want to bring me the tea. No. All right, Mom, thanks, girl. Yeah, please, thank you. So I would not buy FDL. Hope that makes sense, man. But SCHD looks good. I would have no problem with that. Maybe have to build a position in that for sure. I got a heart from somebody, from Daryl Davies. All right, right on, Daryl. Scooby-Doo says the difference between those two are all in the last 6 months. All right, right on, man. So cool. All right, well, that's good. That's that probably is true, but they're all even Steven. I think I think it'd be fine either way. But I think I'm not a fan of First Trust ETFs, by the way. And I follow Brian Westbury all the time. I'm just not a fan. They are not overly expensive relative to the overall investment industry, but they're certainly overly expensive relative to the broad ETF market. He's looking for Fauci. You see Fauci? You see him? Finn, is Fauci out there? Is he trying to get you? That Fauci trying to force a jab on you? Is he trying to get you? Are you seeing the Fauci? I tell you, man, you're seeing the stuff. They're already going out. I mean, they're starting. You see it building up. That Fauci it's his day is coming. I can't wait for that guy to fall away the wayside. I can't. I never liked that guy. Don't understand why Trump put so much trust in him. But to see him get his comeuppance is going to make my day. It's an evil little SOB, that guy. Yeah, I did not see AMC stock run up today. I'm not sure. South Dakota in the house. No, I like South Dakota. I like it a lot. I just can't see myself living there, Homer. I love that dog. Wilbur Jackson was the first black player for Alabama in 1970. Interesting. Wilbur Jackson. I'm racking my brain for thinking where a Wilbur Jackson played in the NFL in the mid-70s, and I'm not coming up with anything. Northeastern Tennessee, right on. Kim, I got a MacBook Air. What size screen? Remember, you measure the screen from the diagonal, and I'm not sure what size this is. Yeah, I don't have my tape measure. I'm not sure, 13 inches or something like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, I got a MacBook Air. I like it, but I usually use Chromebooks. Problem is, if you go back and forth between Chrome and MacBooks, the Google Sheets don't get kind of, I don't say corrupted, but it's hard to, you got to pick one or the other. So lately I've just been doing all my MacBook. Even though I like Chromebooks, I do. All right. 508. All right. We got, hey, Josh, the big division my company is getting spun off. What should I do for my 401k for my original parent company? All right. So you got to remember, if you're under the age of 55, you're probably just going to want to roll that over to your new 401k, Charles. Because if you separate from service post 54, i.e. you're 55 and older, you have access to your 401ks without a penalty. Now, as long as you keep it in your 401k. So a lot of people roll it to their IRA, and that could be a mistake because then they'll leave their crappy old job when they're 56 and they'll have to pay a penalty on their money as opposed to getting it just without penalty. So I'll just roll it to your new one unless there's some extenuating circumstances. All right. Yeah, I can speak to a lump sum or a pension. Right on, Daryl. So this is an easy. All right, so this is an easy one. So there's a lady on here now. All right. Friggin' nuts, man. So she called her provider. All right. Her provider said that she would get it's basically a 4.5% distribution rate. And so, Daryl, what that means is you take your look, this is going to be freaking complete rocket science stuff here. So this might be above your head because this can be rocket science. And you probably everyone on here needs to just cancel because you guys can't keep up with the brain I'm going to bring to you here. So, all right, if you're all ready for the rocket science, I'm going to bring you rocket science here. All right, let's say you have $100,000 in a lump sum payout, $100,000, and they're going to pay you $500 a month. All right, so we got $100,000. You can take this as a lump sum, or you could take that as a monthly check. Either one. You can't take them both. You got to take one or the other. So what we do is 500 times 12, rocket science, is $6,000 a year. So 500 times 12 is $6,000. Rocket science coming at you. Take the $6,000 and divide it into that. Oops. And that's a 6% distribution yield. Now, it's not a yield like a dividend yield or anything like that. It's just saying how much money am I getting for the amount I contribute to that I'm putting up for it, if that makes sense. Now, my rule of thumb, if it's less than 5%, you don't take it. You take the rollover. You roll it to your IRA. Extenuating circumstances, like the lady I was just talking about here just a second ago. It's situation dictates. My rule of thumb, though, is if it's less than 5%, you don't take the distribution, you don't take the pension, you take the lumps, you take the rollover essentially. If it's if you're, it also depends on your age. The younger you are, the less of a distribution yield you're going to get because that means they have to pay more for longer, just like Social Security. But I was talking to a guy, I think it was today, a lady today. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it was. And she was going to get $1,500 a month, $18,000 a year on $230,000. Yeah, so this lady I was talking to today was going to get $18,000 a year on $230,000. So rocket science, we take our trusted calculator, 18,000 divided by 230. That's a 7.8% distribution yield. And she's not married. She's single. No way in hell should she take the lump sum. No way. She's going to roll that puppy over. In fact, I want to share with you guys. So let's talk about this lady, as a matter of fact, because she's going to get, you are so handsome. I love dogs. She actually was funny because she's not liberal, but she doesn't see eye to eye with me. But she hired me because my love of dogs. She goes, I know I can trust you just because how much you love dogs. And I said, yeah, but be careful of that. A lot of guys out there walking around with their dogs in a public park trying to pick up chicks. You know what I'm saying? And she said, oh, she knows that full and well. It's kind of funny. But so just be careful. If you're a young lady out there in a park and some guy has a dog, he's up to no good. And look, I'm being facetious in some regard, but if he's like, hey, you want to pet my dog? Yeah, here's my number. No, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of foul men out there who look for any advantage for a lot of foul men is all there is to it. Anyway, so in this case, so I want to dive in real quick. But the rule of thumb, just to answer Daryl's question, if your distribution yield is less than 5%, I would say don't take that. I would say take the rollover to your IRA. If your distribution yield is above 6%, I would take it almost every time. Almost every time. There are extenuating circumstances. Talked to a lady 2 days ago or yesterday or something like that, and hers was about 4.5%. And we recommended, or we talked, and we said it's best for you to take the pension for sure. Even though that just goes against what I just said. I've talked to other people that distribution yield of over 6%. I said, don't do that because we have some tax planning we're going to do. But generally speaking, that's the rule of thumb. Less than 5, take the rollover. More than 6, take the pension. All right. So this case, this lady has she's gonna quit. Her job is going so woke, and she wants to jump off a bridge. And the interesting thing is, we don't want her to jump off a bridge because she's a good human being, and we like good human beings not to jump off bridges. All right, so she has $775 a month in rental income. She was able to buy a rental for $30,000. She's getting $775 a month gross rental income. And I mean, if I said, man, that is such a smoking deal. You know what I'm saying? Gross rental income, $775 with a good, steady tenant who's not going anywhere. On a $30,000 investment. Now it's worth $90,000 because she had cash after the great collapse of the last decade, if you know what I'm talking about. So that's a smoking deal, man. I was like, dude, crazy. Anyway, so she was able to get $775 a month in rent, plus she's gonna have a pension of $1,500 a month. You okay over there? And she's gonna take Social Security early. All right, so she's gonna have these 3 forms of income. Now she's under the age of 65, so you got to be very careful for her not to go above 400% above the federal poverty level. And if memory serves, I think it's $40,000. She can't go above 40,000. Maybe it's 50,000 for a single person, if that makes sense. All right. Now she has no kids, no one to leave the assets to. A very nice lady. She just got screwed by some scumbags, and as such, she's not interested in revisiting that. So she's not gonna have kids, and she's not gonna get married. And it's sad, but it is what it is. And for every woman who had that same story, there's a man who's got the same story about a woman too. So I'm not trying to make this like, why are you bashing on men? My issue is that men have been dropped. I'm telling you, man, men have allowed feminism to dictate who they are, and they need to freaking step up and be a freaking man. And look, at the end of the day, feminism isn't the cause. Feminism is the result of men getting lazy and getting cocky. I got to tell you, there's no other way around that. If men did what they're put on earth to do, which is lead a family, take care of their children, and not go around messing around with other chicks and being at home for their kids, there would be no feminism. I'm just telling you right now. But men, why do you think men love abortion, by the way? It's weird. All these feminists said, my body, my choice. Why do you think men are the biggest advocates for abortion? You ever thought about that? Crazy. You think that men give 2 craps about you who just want to freaking hop the sack and walk away and say, hey, we'll get an abortion? I mean, come on, man. I don't get why women are so gullible in this. It's freaking sickening. Anyway, so she's going to have to get Obamacare. All right, because she's going to quit her crappy old job because they're going woke and they'll certainly go broke. All right, so now we got all this kind of money right here. And so what we're going to say is, whoa, man, we're getting, and I think she's going to make another $1,000 a month on various things, picking up poops for other neighbors or whatever. But we're not going to include that for right now because I said, let's just make sure before you take up that part-time job that we're not going to violate Obamacare. All right, so what people who don't do financial planning, who write for blogs, for big firms who don't know financial planning from a hole in the ground, they'll say she's going to make $18,000 a year from her pension, plus $775 times 12 in her rental income. That's $9,300 a year. All right, plus $24,000 in Social Security. So she's going to make $9,300 plus $24,000 in Social Security. She's going to make $42,600. And as such, they would say she's going to violate, and that's without adding any extra income, by the way, because she's going to need a little bit more money. That's going to violate the 400% above the federal poverty line. And again, I don't know what exactly it is. Let's say 40,000, 50,000. In this case, it doesn't matter, and I'll show you why in just a second. And I say, whoa, hang tight. The federal poverty line is 400% MAGI, your modified adjusted gross income. All right. So what do we have to do when it comes to figuring out your MAGI when you have your Social Security? You got to figure out what your modified adjusted gross income is, but how do we do that? Well, we got to figure out what our combined / provisional income to get a gauge how much Social Security is going to tax us, how much taxes we're going to pay on our Social Security benefits. Hold on. Oops. There we go. Oh, you are such a nugget. All right, so we got to figure out how much Social Security is going to be subject to taxation. So what we do is we take our $775, $9,300 plus our $18,000 pension, all right, and plus our Social Security, which is $24,000. But only half of this goes into provisional income. All right, so what we do is we take $24,000, make that $12,000. Okay, there, big baby. So what we have is $39,300. All right, so $39,300 is our provisional income. That doesn't mean anything yet. $39,300. All right, so I hope you guys are following me. Now she's single, which means the first $25,000 there is no taxes at all. Nothing. None of that is subject to taxation. The first $25,000. All right, $25,000. The next 25 to 34, $9,000 of that is subject to taxation, but only 50% of that $9,000. All right, so the next 25 to 34,000, $9,000 of that is subject to taxation, but 50% of that $9,000. So in this case, it's $4,500. So we're going to go down here, and we're going to say $4,500. All right, so anything above $34,000 is $5,000. So it's going to be $5,300. 85% of that is subject to taxation. 85% of that 5,300. So 5,300 times 0.85 is 4,500. I go another 4,500. 4,505, which means 9,000. Yeah, right. 9,000. Yeah, 9,000. So of her 24,000 Social Security, only $9,005 is actually subject to taxation, which goes to the to her Maggie. So 9,500 of her 24,000 is subject to taxation in this regard. 9,500 plus her rental income. Now, the best thing about her rental income, that was gross. So she'll have write-offs. It won't be a full 775 she's netting. She's netting about 500. But again, just to for simplicity here, plus her $18,000 pension. All right, so now this is what her modified adjusted gross income is going to be. 9,005 plus 9,300 plus 18,000. So now her Maggie is $36,000. All right, so her Maggie is 36, literally 10,000 below what we had said before. So now she's going to make $500 a month in extra income, which she's going to. That'll be another $6,000. You can't really, you got to go back and redo the Maggie stuff again, or redo the provisional income, but it's still going to put her well below her, to lose her qualifications for Obamacare. And the point being is she's really getting upset with her job because her job is going woke. And she's like, I can't take it. And I said, sister, just for the next 2 years, because let's just say she needs 2 more years. Just pay off all your debt, pay off all your debt, pay off all your debt. At 62, and her concern was, what about healthcare? And she had budgeted like $900 a month or something like that for healthcare. I said, no, as long as you keep it below the federal poverty level, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. And as such, she won't have much in Obamacare. Right? Why? Because the premiums will be subsidized. On top of that, she'll have a pension income that's guaranteed. She'll have Social Security that's not just guaranteed, but guaranteed with the cost of living adjustment. She's gonna have a freaking wonderful real estate rental. And she can always sell that if she wants to later on. And then she's not going to sit around and, watching Oprah all day. So she'll go out and do something. And hopefully she does it under the table, if you know what I'm saying, where they say, here, thanks for mowing my lawn. Here's $50. Anyway, that's how this works. And this is now the third person I've talked to in less than a week that I said they're stuck on quit their crappy old job because it's concerned with healthcare. And I'm telling you, I get people all the time who email me say, I can't believe I got to say this about Obama, a bummer care. But facts are, this is proven to be a godsend for people who are sick of the corporate rat race, sick of woke America, and say, I'm getting the hell out of Dodge. And it's as long as you keep your income below a certain threshold, you are good to go, my friends, which is why you got to stop putting money into your deferred accounts. All right. 508 is where I'm from. And really think about loading up on your post-tax accounts. Because if the only income you have is from your deferred accounts, that goes to your Maggie, and that could violate your huge premium incentives for Obamacare. Now, this lady's going to be 62, so she only needs it for 3 years before she's on Medicare. But what if you're 55, man? You see what I'm saying? And all your money is coming from freaking post-tax money. You have Obamacare for as long as the eyes can see. Anyway, I'm all about it. I think it's great. Again, tip the hat to old Obama. And I said this is day one. I've said it back then, and I'll say it now. I said the best thing that Pelosi did, and they screwed this up, and the Republicans did it too. They're all clowns. She said, can you imagine the relief it will be not have to be tied to your job to go do the job you want to do, create whatever you want. I remember I heard this was before she was senile, but she said that. I said, that's your argument, Pelosi. Tell people if they're not satisfied in their job and they're staying there just because healthcare is keeping them there, we are going to solve that for you. And that was the argument. But then they had to go insane and provide abortions and make sure that men had menopausal care and all that stuff. It was nuts. But it was true. It's true. And it's still true to this day. And if the government's going to subsidize it, but Josh, I'm sick of that crap. I don't care. Look, man, I'm done with that. We paid our taxes. We don't make the rules. We just play by them. So if you're living on this crap, in this world, you're like, I can't go on the dole. Well, that's your problem. I got nothing for you. The same people are anyway. So long story short, there's a lot of opportunity here if you do it right to get out of your. Because look, my man Eric just sent me the thing about, like I said, about Kellogg's cereal that only boxes are cereals. Let's see, Kellogg's boxes are for cereal, not people. Yep. Never mind the fact that another guy sent me the thing on Lockheed Martin. Let's just see right quick. We'll share this with you. It's this one right here. Right here. Lockheed Martin puts executives through training to unlearn white male privilege. Look, man, it's just no one wants this crap. Black people don't want this crap. White people don't want it. Black people don't. No one wants it. It's stupid. Everybody knows it's stupid, but this is the nature. And I told you about why I sold my Exxon. When a company Engine One, which only has 0.01% of the whole holdings, can force their way onto the board of directors because of backing from BlackRock, some other firm. I mean, look, it's all set up against. It's all corrupt. The whole system's corrupt. Is all there is to it. That doesn't mean you just get out, but that means you have a plan of exit. A plan of exit from playing the game, because the game is so freaking corrupt. And corruption can't last. It can't. It's all going down. I mean, we are the Roman Empire, man. It's all going down. And it might not be in our lifetimes. It might not be in our kids' lifetime. But it's going down. And when it does, you want to be as far removed from that as possible. I'm telling you, man. And you sound negative. I'm not at all. I'm actually optimistic. A jubilee, if that makes sense, is coming. But but the crushing of the fall of Rome is going to fall on many people that are in that, and many people who have learned how to escape from that will be just fine. They're just fine to thrive. I'm optimistic as all can be. It's like everyone's like, Christianity is dying. It's not dying. It's dying from the people who never really were in it, but it's actually growing from the people who are true believers, if that makes sense. And so, I mean, in terms of our numbers from a political perspective, it's dying on the vine without question. In terms of true believers who say Jesus is the Lord, Jesus is the risen Son of God, that number is, and we believe in that's growing. That's fantastic. I love it. And the best thing about it is, that when people say, if loving the Lord is wrong, I don't want to be right. When they say that, they're of like mind, and it doesn't matter the race. It doesn't matter their ethnicity. They're of the Lord, and hey, I want to be part of you. You want to be part of me, and you're going to build a community based on that. I love it. I'm stoked, man. I really, really am. The drawback is, okay, so what do we do? And I got some ideas. I'm not going to go into that deep tonight, but not anything specific. But I do worry about the collapse of the investment world. And when I say collapse in the investment world, there will always be investments. This isn't like saying, oh my goodness, we're going to go Bolshevik. I don't think that at all. What I'm saying, because the globalist cabal, they're in it to make money, and they're going to allow you to make some money so that way you don't revolt with your pitchforks. I 100% agree with that. But my issue is the collapse that is going to come to basically clean. There's going to be a washing of souls. kind of like we had the real estate market in 2006 and 7. A lot of people got burned so much in there. They never made it back. And I think that's going to happen again with the equity markets. Now, I don't know when it's going to be, but it's it's going to be bad. I don't know when. And I just want to make sure that I'm removed from that when that happens. Doesn't mean I won't have stocks, but I tell you, it just means at the end, right now, I'm still 100% fully invested. I will continue to be. But I'm thinking at some point when I don't have when I can have the capacity to not be fully invested, I won't be. And what that alternative will, well, I'm going through some ideas. All right, so let's keep talking, man. Yeah, Tennessee is looking better every day. No other way around that. Look, Georgia's good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, look, outside of Fulton County and a couple places and over on the east side, Savannah and whatnot, Georgia is freaking solid. I'm telling you, you're not going up to Gilmer County and telling people, wear your mask and, give us your 2A or your AR. It's just not going to happen. It's not. So it's the issues. The statewide stuff is bad. You want to be in a state that's pretty red, but your county is probably the most important thing. So ideally, you pick up, because look, man, I was talking to this guy today. Gillum almost beat DeSantis. You know what I'm saying? Now, DeSantis is looking like a kingmaker, but it was pretty doggone close in Florida. Now, Florida's becoming more red by the day, which is great. So I'm not all that worried, but that's how it was close. Gillum almost won. It turned out to be not nearly as close as they thought Gillum was winning by 7. The polls had Gillum up by 7 going to election day, which is how insane the polls are. Never trust them again, ever. But anyway, not only did Gillum not win, he lost. I don't want to say going away, but DeSantis won by more than a hair. That's for sure. And now DeSantis is the kingmaker for sure. Anyway, point being is but these Georgia. I mean, we're up for re-election next year for a new governor and whatnot. I mean, we could be run by Stacey Abrams. You know what I'm saying? The mouth of the South. And if so, that's gonna be. But she's living in her little fiefdom of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she can't. What's she gonna do? Send the state police to you in freaking, like I said, Gilmer County? I mean, just okay. We're waiting there, Stacey. And just come on. I mean, they maintain their dominance from their little neck of the woods, and everybody else is just free to do whatever they want. It's all there is to it. Ideally, you don't have a Stacey Abrams in charge. I mean, I grant you got a half-wit up in Michigan. The sad thing is, there are a lot of people who just follow the commands of the governor, which is strange. I don't get this. Somebody had posted a thing on here 2 days ago about even in Michigan, most of them are still wearing masks. I say, Michigan isn't a blue state. I mean, it's blue in areas, but it's still red, the bulk of it. And yet I'm still saying throughout Michigan. And I was like, that's nuts. It's almost like, if the governor says, you're doing what the governor says. It's crazy to me. I'm like, wow. So anyway, even if your state is run by a lunatic, most of the people are probably going to be still pretty open-minded and not follow suit. But apparently not in the North. It's I don't know what that was about in Michigan. I don't know. That just bothered me, actually. Anyway, then you got to find your county. The county's most important, you know what I'm saying? So if you're living in wherever Nashville is, even though it's Tennessee's a red state, well, Nashville, blue is going to be. So you got to get the hell out of Dodge. All right. So better I don't know what VFIAX is, or total VTSAX, or a VDIGX. Why not? I don't know what VFIAX is, but why not the two? I don't know. I mean, why are they mutually exclusive? You should do a show about teachers 403B. Is it worth it investing in mutual funds with high commissions? Well, I talked to a guy 2 days ago, and he's got an Ed Jones account, and he paid 5.5% front end commission like 25 years ago or something like that. And I said, yeah, it's worth it investing in high commissions as long as you stay in there. Now, the thing that ticked me off, and I'm surprised that if Ed Jones is doing this, they should be ashamed of themselves. They moved him from that into a managed account now. And I say that should not be allowed to happen. Once you pay the front end commission of 5.5%, you should never, ever, ever have management fees in terms of, hey, we have a better thing now. All they're doing is what's called annuitizing their book, and that's some evil crap there. That's churning. I don't understand why. Okay, hold on just a second. All right, party break. Come on, party crashers. Come on. I don't understand why that's allowed. That should not be allowed, and that ticked me off. But if you buy a high commission American funds and you just let it sit there, I actually think that's much better than paying a friggin' broker 1% asset under management fee. I've said that a million times a Sunday, which is why this whole thing about I'm a fiduciary. I was like, I don't give a rat's butt if you're a fiduciary. If you're charging 1% a year, I'll take American funds commission-based salesman any day of the week, and I will pay less. It's almost guaranteed. Make sure you comment on HF's proposed change in fire. Yes, you should comment without question. The ATF, who cares? I mean, literally at this stage, if you haven't armed up by now, I don't know what you've been waiting on. You see what I'm saying? So they can mandate whatever the heck they want in terms of, they can do whatever they want. It's not happening. I got what I need. It's always the easiest thing was to go after ammunition, as Ted Kennedy wanted to do. Finnegan. But I mean, if you don't have if you haven't bought your firearms yet, I do not know what to tell you now. I don't. We know for a fact that they're going to ban stuff, and they're not going to do it outright, most likely, but they're going to do it by regulation, and you're going to say, I can't. So yes, comment, but they don't care. Do you really think they care about the rabble rousers? Only thing they care, they just don't. So you go buy what you got to buy and let the chips fall where they may, if that makes sense. And then you get out of Fulton County, you get out of Camden County, you get out of wherever, what county ever, Cumberland County, Maine, and you say, no, I'm going to a place where I'll be an outlaw, because once all guns are outlaws, only outlaws have guns. Lump sum versus monthly payments. I think we just talked about that. All right. Yeah, I agree. Most laptops say are plenty powerful. Yep, exactly. My 3-year outlook on gold it will still be valuable to somebody. That's for sure. So I don't even have a 3-year outlook on gold. I just say gold has been valuable, has value for 5,000 years. So I presume it'll always have some value, and as such, it's literally a store of value. I keep reading all these people say Bitcoin's a store of value. I say, I don't even know what has Bitcoin been doing lately. I think it was up back above 40. I'm like, how is it a store of value if it drops from 66 to 32 and back up to 40? That's not a store of value. Yeah, it's at 38. So where's the store? Where is the store there? So you're storing something. I'm storing it for the famine time to come. Huh? Gold is that. I mean, gold literally is a store of value. Now, what you say is, yeah, but gold fluctuates too. Yeah, but gold actually is something I hold in my hand that has a 5,000-year track record of a storing of value. This whole thing with Bitcoin is because they don't say Bitcoin is going to replace the dollar anymore. I haven't heard anyone say that anymore, because that's just dumb. So now what they're saying, well, it's not going to replace a dollar, not going to be a currency replacement. I said, well, that's what you were saying, but now it's going to be a store of value. I said, how is this? Where is the store? I mean, literally, I'm storing my corn for the famine. So I store 50 bushels of corn today. 2 weeks later, Elon Musk texts something. So I go in there. I only got 20 bushels of corn. That's not a store. It's the weirdest thing to me. I don't get it, and that's fine. People get rich on it. I don't care. It's just odd. Like, keep saying the store of value. What is a true store of value is gold. It's literally gold. Now, people say gold is a hedge against inflation. I don't buy that for 2 seconds either. I don't. Because if you look at the price of gold relative to inflation, it's not a hedge against that. There's no correlation of gold going up as inflation goes up. There's just none. So let's stop. Now, again, it was illegal, the old gold bullion from 1935 to basically 1970 or something like that. So we don't really even have, we only have less than 50 years experience of the price of gold that has been free of any government regulation. So we don't even know that much about gold, but we do know if I went to a store today with gold in my pocket, I could buy something. Thus, it stores some type of value there. Now, what could I buy? Depends on what the gold guy, the pawn guy is going to give me. Will it give me freaking $1,800 an ounce? Probably not. Will it give me $1,500 an ounce if the spot price is $1,800 an ounce? Probably. I mean, it's just, I don't get it. It's just weird to me. And but gold, I hear this all the time too. But gold, you don't get any. The storing of gold is a hassle. What do they say? You don't get a dividend. That's one negative against gold. And the storage cost. I'm like, huh? The storage cost? Do you know how big an ounce of gold is? It's literally an ounce. It's literally an ounce. How many ounces in a pound? 16. So 1 ounce of gold is 1/16 of a pound. So if you have 16 ounces of gold, hey, you're doing pretty good. It's still a pound. It's still just 1 pound. That's just not that storage cost. It's the strangest thing. I don't get it. It's like these guys hear this stuff on some guy's internet page. Oh, yeah, you're right. The cost of stored gold is bad, and I don't get a dividend. Okay. Just weird. So I'm all about gold, man. Everyone should have some. I don't know why people do. In fact, I haven't bought my gold for this year. I try to buy an ounce or two every year, and I haven't bought any this year. Hey, Bruce. Wow, physical gold 1900 today. All right, cool. With W10, 16 gigabytes, and SSD makes a big difference in speed. Wow. I don't know what any of that means. I guess 16 gigabyte RAM. Man, that's crazy. Remember, it used to be 256 megabytes RAM was good. It's a Kim kind of graduation pool party. Yeah, 100%. Hey, Sealy, right on. Thank you. Super sticker. So again, if you want me to, if there's anyone on here and saying, you don't answer my question, just give me a super sticker or whatever that is, super chat. Oh, thank you. All right, so let's see what we got here. Oops. Look at Bob. Consumer SSDs, plain obsolescence, made of chips that are seconds, not good enough for servers. If you toss computers every 3 years, ours all right, that is Mandarin right there. So remember our friend Harry Chu? He'll probably be on here later on. He says, Rob will be speaking Mandarin. That's what that sounds like to me. OJ, now he wasn't, but he was an Heisman Trophy winner, and he went to USC, but OJ wasn't from the South. Actually, I'm not sure where OJ was from. I think he might have been from California. Yeah, they're not. No, I haven't heard anything. That is not going through. Scooby-Doo says any news on actions against a step-up basis. There's no way. That would be DOA. Now, look, I could be wrong, but that would be DOA. Well, I mean, again, personnel is policy, and if you hire crap personnel, you're going to be held accountable. I remember that guy Steve Deese or whatever his name is from the Blaze or whatever. I remember he saying this back in August of last year. He goes, look, if Trump loses, the number one reason is because of Mike Pence. He let Mike Pence run the show when it came to the COVID stuff, and Pence allowed for Fauci and Birx to run the show, and you got to blame Trump. That's all there is to it, man. Yeah, U.S. Army woke recruiting ads are turned off. Ooh, I want to see what is that. Let's see what that U.S. Army. Hold on, I want to see. It was the last time I saw this ratio at 84,000 against U.S. Army recruiting ad. U.S. Army to recruiting ad. The last time I saw it was way down. All right, let's take a look here. So, all right, we're going to look at this. Right here, and let's see. All right, here's Emma, the calling. This is so 125 down, and they got rid of comments. You freaking fools, man. You freaking fools. Oh, I'm so embarrassed to have been in the Army. Oh, let's see, recruiting video 2019. Let's see if they allowed comments on there. All right, go Army. Oh, that's not Army. Oh, I tell you, hold on just a second. Can y'all see what I'm doing? Yeah, hold on. So let's go to Go Army. It just is. This is. I think they're doing that just to get the real soldiers to leave. You know what I'm saying? That's what I truly believe. I don't think they're doing this because they really think this crap. I think they're doing it to get the real soldiers to leave. All right, so let's see what we got here. Choosing your warrior favorite memory. Let's see if we can. Let's see Ricky. Let's see if we can comment on his. The comments turned off. All right, so his is turned off. All right, let's see. The Nerve Center, Go Army Warrior Week. So here we go. Looks like they're allowing comments here. Oh, but yeah, see, no one likes this crap, man. I mean, it's a funny thing. It's like minorities don't want this. I mean, like there's some whites who are like, oh, it makes me feel so proud. No one wants this crap. It's embarrassing. Everyone knows it's embarrassing. It's just the elites, which is why it's going to collapse. It's fun to watch. I mean, literally, you can get mad or you can just sit there and just laugh. At the end of the day, remember who wins. And this is what the liberating thing about being a lover of God is that you know who wins is Jesus. He comes back, and all of our issues are resolved at that point. And it might not be during our lives, but we know how the book ends. And it's great. Don't worry about it. But just, do I worry? Of course, you can't help it. But you just, all right, at the end of the day, this right here, the good book. Old God is going to say, yeah, I think I told you about these kind of things of not being of this earth. So you do what you can. You enjoy your life as God wants you to do. You help other people, and you move on to the next stage, which is with the big guy upstairs. That's all you can do. And hopefully you're getting some kids out there to carry the flag. All right. Yeah, well, that was always fake, Carl. That whole thing was fake. Yeah, does someone actually post that on this thing? Because it's kind of like the 77% wage gap. That's fake too. Okay, so good. So he's talking about lump sum versus a pension. All right, so the pension, you have things called life pensions, single life. All right, so let's just say it's me and my better half, Charlotte. Oh, that's not very manly to say your better half. But it's true. And if you think Charlotte is like wearing the pants in here, well, you're crazy. But it's all good. I mean, I wear the pants, but I just, I'm laid back, and she's more take charge of the homemaking, and I'm more take charge of the money. The money. At the end of the day, when the kids are being naughty, Charlotte knows. She calls me in, and I get the job done. It's shocking, right? It's the way it is. The way it was when we were growing up. When your dad came, that was bad. Now my mom would whip up on me, and that was bad. But when my dad came, that was real bad. If you don't, and everyone knows this. It's the same thing with you. Same thing, man. It's like your dad comes, you're like, oof. You wait till your dad comes home, yikes. And that's after mom whipped up on you. You're like, ooh, I really the world hurt there. All right, so my man, golf crazy. I guess he likes his school buses. That's his golf cart, his school bus. All right, so remember, if you die in year 2, you have a thing called a single life annuity, which is a pension. So a single life annuity / pension is the same thing. That will pay you until you're dead. That's it. All right. Well, don't do that if you're married. So if it's me, I'll do a single life and 100% survivor annuity, or joint life survivor annuity is probably what it's called in your neck of the woods. JLSA, joint life survivor annuity. All right, so as long as either Charlotte or I are breathing, they're going to pay us a pension. Hope that makes sense. Now, what if we both die in year 2? Does it stop? Well, not if you do a joint life and survivor annuity with a period certain. Usually it's 10 years. Sometimes it's 20. I like the 20, but if it's 10, that's fine. And that says if you both die in year 9, your heirs will at least get 1 more year of the pension. Hope that makes sense. You and Charlotte both die because Fauci jabbed you. You would die. You both die in year 9. Your pension still has 1 more year of certainty paid. All right. Now, if you and Charlotte both die, whoa, you're married to my wife? If Charlotte and I both die in year 11, it stops. because a period certain is for a certain time. And then when that period certain is over, now it's just a joint life annuity. I hope that makes sense. So you got a single life annuity, just on all golf crazy. And if he's not married, that's what you should do, unless there's something else going on. But generally speaking, that's what you should do. If you're married, you should do a joint life. All right. Now, the joint life and survivor annuity, there are options in that. How much do you want to leave to Charlotte? And for me, I always default to 100%. And some people get really wrapped up in this. I look, and I mean, I'm not here to convince anybody to do what they want to do. And we can spreadsheet this till we're blue in the face. At the end of the day, my preference is to make sure Charlotte has every single penny coming to her that we had before I died, because she's still going to lose her own Social Security benefit. She'll step into mine, but she's still going to lose a Social Security. We don't want her to lose a half of the pension either. So, from generally speaking, it's about a 10% premium 10% payout discount if you do 100% survivor benefits. So if I was making $2,000 a month as a pension, I'd make only $1,800 a month if I had 100% survivor benefit. That's $2,400 a year. Whoop-de-flip-and-do to make sure that my wife has everything that she was getting before I died. $2,000, $2,400 a year. I mean, whoop-de-doo, man. But some people get right. I got a couple guys last year that really, like, not antagonistic, but really, and I was like, dude, just do what you got to do. It's fine. But at the end of the day, my default is to take 100% joint life survivor annuity. One guy, I think he did, it was like $600 a month off his pension if he had 100%. And that was too much. You know what I'm saying? So there's, it doesn't have to be, I mean, you got to use common sense here. I can't remember what his pension was. We'll just say it's like $2,000 a month with a 50% survivor benefit. And then it was like $1,300 a month with 100% survivor benefit. And he was only like 55. So I can't remember the whole story, but I was like, yeah, well, don't do that. I mean, use some common sense here. But I did have a couple of people who got real, like I said, almost antagonistic when I said you need 100% survivor. I said I always default with 100% survivor benefit, then we go down from there. And it was, but that's up to you. However, I would highly suggest you have this discussion with your spouse sitting right there, because your spouse might say, whoa, huh? You see what I'm saying? And that's not good. But I mean, I don't get why. I get a lot of spouses, women a lot, don't want to be involved in the discussion with their finances. But when it comes to retirement planning with an irrevocable decision on how you're going to annuitize your pension, not having your spouse as part of that conversation is just odd to me. But anyway. All right. John says, if you're assessing your 401k funds under the Rule 55, you get another gig later on a new 401k. Does that create any withdrawal issues if you start contributing to the new 401k? Someone asked that a couple months ago, and we looked it up, and the answer is no. It doesn't. As long as the old 401k is left at the old employer. But don't take my word for it. Do your own research. But someone asked that question, and we all kind of confirmed, some of us on here, that was not an issue. That your old 401k post 55 is still accessible without penalty, even if you're contributing to your new 401k. Yeah, Harry says, click the like button. The Billy Porter DNC music video. I'm not sure what that was. All right. I'm 60 now. Should I roll it over to new company's 401k, roll it to an IRA, or, well, I mean, I don't understand all this. Why don't you just roll it to your own IRA? So he's saying, I'm 60. I got a new spinoff 401k. I can take it out, cash out, pay the taxes. I'm not sure I'd do that. Roll it all into a Roth, which sounds like a pretty significant tax hit to him, to convert it to a Roth, or put it to his new company's 401k. It seems like it should be a fourth option. Just roll it to your own IRA. That's what I would suggest. Yeah, I'm not familiar with the Billy Rhodes thing either. Yeah, but Carl, men have lied to women too. I mean, that's the thing. It's like feminism has lied to women, but yeah, so haven't many, many men. again, I'm not excusing women for being gullible to fall for it, but at the end of the day, that's some evil stuff that you're doing. Not you, Carl, but men do just so they can have another notch in their crotch, so to speak. Yeah, look, young men, I get it. Yeah, a lot of young men weren't raised correctly. Let's just put it that way. I get that, and the conquest is an ego boost. I 100% get that. But the sad that you get an ego boost by doing immoral things. If that's how you get an ego boost, you really need to change your priorities, because you should get an ego boost by helping people. That's how you get an ego boost. Ego by making people submit to you is that's just some evil crap. And look, I'm just telling you, it's easy to say in hindsight, because I remember when I was a teen and a young man, you know what I'm saying? I remember it like it was yesterday. And but it's not ego building. But the funny thing is, this is what cracks me up. There's a guy following YouTube. Now I like him. I interviewed him once. I like him a lot. I'm not going to say his name. And he's kind of woke. He's a good guy. He's not super woke, but he's kind of woke. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he's not. But he did a video where he's kind of calling out men for being sexist, but in the same video, he's playing rap clips by sexist rappers. And I was just like, why is it okay if you're a black rapper, you can be sexist and racist and all that, but if you're a white, I don't know, friggin' baseball player, you can't. Why? If the words are bad regardless of what mouth it comes out of, and the words are bad. And I was sitting there thinking, it's weird. It's like, it's like the strange, well, the black guy's doing, he's rapping, so that's art. That's their art, their art, because they're different than us. And I'm just sitting there thinking, this isn't good. This is not acceptable. And I'll never forget when I was going to, Maddie was at Georgia Tech, and it's very woke. And we're going on campus to watch, I think it was I can't remember what we're doing. Man, we're going on campus one day. And it's very like, we value women and all this and that and the other. And I'm walking by a fraternity of white boys and playing rap music loud, black rap music, and just dropping B's and dropping C's. And I was like, if I were to literally say that, just say that without a beat behind me, I would be banned from campus forever. Now, rightly or wrongly, whether I should be or not, I'm not talking. I'm just saying, just because it's in rap done by black guys, for some reason, the white people don't want to call it out. That's freaking wrong, man. And the funny thing is, the feminists, the white feminists, they're like, I don't know their hands are tied. It's like, I don't know what to do, because that's bad against women. But it's black people, and I can't say anything about black people. They're like, I don't know what to do. It's kind of like the meme where the superhero guy's like, don't wear my mask because I've been vaxxed, or wait, what did he say? He's got the two options. He's like sweating. He goes, which one do I choose? Don't wear my mask to show I've been vaxxed, or wear my mask to show that I'm not a Republican or something. I can't remember what it was. It's funny. It's like, I could see the white feminists like, get on these guys, or these white fraternity boys are playing sexist music, or say that I support, black artists, saying whatever they want. I just, oh my goodness, it gets me changed. But the problem is, that's evil crap, and it should not be allowed. What I mean allowed, do I say ban it? No. But if you hear that crap on campus, and you're supposed to be woke and being all supportive for women, and you're hearing the B's and the C's being dropped, they're talking about your daughters. They're talking about those girls on campus. They're talking about my daughters on campus, Georgia Tech, you friggin' fools. And you all can kiss my big fat behind. What? That should not be allowed. It should not be. It should be said, no, you can't play stuff like that here. Oh, you big funny. I don't give two craps. If we're going to have open campus that's tolerant, it needs to be open campus that's tolerant. You can't allow that. And yet they do. They do. It's crazy. Because the certain group of people who say it, no one wants to offend, because, I don't want to seem like I'm a racist. You're not being a racist. You're saying that's not acceptable. And yet this is the problem, is that you see the feminists say, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to blame that guy. Like Lena Dunham. She'll blame her white guy at wherever that stupid college she went. She falsely accused of rape. And we all get pissed off at Lena Dunham, rightly so, because there are women who get raped who now don't have a leg to stand on because Lena Dunham of the world just wanted to say, I'm a victim too. I'm a victim too. You know, she's just a rich, spoiled brat. She's just a rich girl. But there are girls who've been raped. But now feminism's like, why didn't you go after Lena Dunham? Which is why I'm actually stunned to see Naomi Klein. Is that her name? Stunned to see this chick come around. It's freaking amazing. Naomi Klein, right? Naomi Klein? Is that her name? Naomi Wolf? Naomi Klein? Naomi Wolf. Who's that? Anyway, that's who it is. Naomi Wolf. She's a big lib. And she's coming around because she's saying, that's great. Again, people will come around when they come around. All right. Considering reverse mortgage, health issues and can't get long-term care, which you like better? Reverse mortgage? I like reverse mortgage better, 100%. Yeah, the unison approach, I like okay, but I like that because you can get it without being 62. Reverse mortgage, 100% like it better. All right. T. Kelly, 500 is 401k. I'm assuming that's 150 in a deferred pension, which will pay him a certain amount of money. I don't think it's 150 a year. Claiming on all at 63. All right. That's fantastic. Most of the rental income would be tax-free due to depreciation on rental property. Right on, man. Yep. I always felt the trick to eliminate unwanted pregnancies, the default custody of the child to the father instead of the mother. Oh, man. 100%. That's a great idea, Harry. Yep. I inherited farmland. What can I do so I don't have to pay tax on it year after year? Well, I mean, it's just property tax. It shouldn't be that much. I mean, you got to pay. If you own it, you're going to pay tax on it. It's just the nature of the beast. I don't know. I don't have any qualm with that. But at the end of the day, if you inherited the land, I can't imagine farmland is taxed all that heavily. So, the way you don't have to pay tax year over year, I presume, is you could give it to one of those conservation units, I suppose. I don't have any problem with that. But then you remove the ability to do it as you see please. I just pay the tax. Be done with it. Hey, what's up? Right on, Sealy. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate the $5. Unison doesn't offer a growing line of credit. 100% right. Yep. My job is going woke with everyone assigning profiles there. And I've heard that some folks are saying if you don't do that, you'll be at the HR. I would just say, I like to use correct English. That's racist to use correct English. So if I was in a company that maybe assign my profiles, I would just say she, her. That's what I do. That's what I just do. It's okay. I'm she, her. Isn't that right? If you're a chick, you say she, her. So say, Josh, what's your profile? She, her. Oh, you're trans? No. Or what's your pronouns? Oh, you're trans? No, I'm not. I'm 100% man. I could prove it to you if you know what I'm saying. You have to get your microscope out. Now, that was funny. That was funny. I am Irish. Oh, the ladies don't know what that means. You boys know what that means. Oh, my goodness. That was funny. All right. Oh, yay for me. I told it funny. That was good. If you aren't laughing, you did something wrong. Oh, I didn't tell you, this guy posted on my let me see if I can. Oh, I'm not going to find it. He posted a comment and said, why would I take financial advice from a guy in his basement with his T-shirt on up inside out? Blah. I said, you don't have to take advice from me. Trust me, you probably shouldn't. You should probably take advice from a guy in a three-piece suit and a freaking monocle and a top hat. It's like, what? It's like, dude, I don't give a rat's behind if you take advice from me or not. The point is, not for you, it's for me. This is fun for me, man. And if you happen to be here and enjoy it with me, that freaking makes me feel good about myself. I'm not going to lie. It's an ego boost to have 176 people on here and hopefully laughing at my jokes. But it's fun. And when you find something fun to do, you want to do it all the time. It's great. So, but I was like, why would I care if you take advice from me? I don't give a crap. It's funny. Anyway, so I say I'm a she, her. No, what did I say? Or could you say, maybe you could say she, he. That's what you could say. Say, what's your profiles or pronouns? She, him. Oh, that's what you could say. I'm she, him. And just make a joke out of it. You got to be serious. No, I don't have to be serious because this is inherently not a serious country anymore. The whole thing is just weird, but all right. Hey, Lydia. My man Bob retired at 55. He was fed up. Yeah, right on. Amar's a good guy, man. I'm trying to incorporate Amar to do more with his CFA stuff. I mean, his skill set is really in investing. He's got a chartered financial analyst, whatever pedigree there, which Amar's an engineer by training. Shocking. A CFP, but primarily a financial guy, an investment guy, CFA. You see these guys on YouTube and stuff, man, they couldn't hold a candle to Amar. Amar freaking, send these guys packing back to Las Vegas, wherever these guys came from. And I don't hate on these guys. It's like, man, when it comes to stock analysis, doesn't mean he's gonna be right. It just means he knows cash flow, he knows all that stuff. Because CFP is easy to get anymore. That's the whole thing with I'm a CFP. I'm like, wow, welcome to the club, guy. It's like saying I got 5 toes. But CFA is tough, and a CFA and a CFP, there ain't that many out there. So I want Amar to kind of show more of his skill set because I do think he has a value added for people who want managed money. And just because you want managed money doesn't mean you're stupid or a bad person. Some people want someone to run their money for them. I got no qualm with that. I got no qualm with paying people as long as you're getting value for it. If you're getting value for it, more power to you. Well, how do you determine value? I can't tell you what value is. You determine value by how you determine value. And if that means you can sleep well at night, is that worth $8,000 a year? Probably, right? That's up to you. Would that be for me? No. Would it be for Charlotte? Yeah, it would be. It would be for sure. So a lot of people really say, well, value is in the eyes of the person receiving the value or not. If they're not receiving it, don't pay it. If you are receiving it, then friggin' pay it. And so be happy with it for sure. And that's even with clowns that don't, in my opinion, don't do you right. If you feel like you got a value added, then pay the guy. I got no qualm with that at all. Lots of retirees are mowing lawns. Yeah, that's one of the things she could do. She could lease it out. I get that a lot. Lots of timber property that are leased out. But they're not making much, enough to pay the property tax. Yep. Mexico in the house, man. Right on. All right. Hey, right on. Lydia just quit her job. She got a better one. Right on. That's fantastic, Lydia. I hope it's closer to where you live because she was driving. I think she lives someplace in Ventura, California. I don't know where those places are in the California, but 15 miles away, freaking, I think she said like an hour and a half each way. I was like, dude, I'd kill myself. Right on. All right. Well, appreciate that, Seeley. Much obliged. That's good. That's good stuff. No, Obamacare is definitely not. Oh, look at that baby. The baby. Cash is king, piled away. Yep. He's a tattoo artist now. Specialized in Tesla, Tesla logo, right on. Lydia, the tattoo lady. What is she? Is she showing one on her thing now? I don't know. Lydia, because she did say she did. Oh boy, she's got sleeves. She's got her arms now. Oh boy, has not women thought of the BCP or the depot shot? The no unwanted pregnancy. Women are not watching out for themselves. Not getting pregnant is a woman's responsibility. Oh boy, Lydia got some nice tats lately. She's gonna love them, or she loves them. Oh boy. Just go to my website, heritagewealthplanning.com. You can see my fee structure right there. I don't do you can look at the thing on there. I don't do hourly consultations, if that makes sense. A lot of my financial planning services become an hourly thing, but it's not like I'll pay you, $100 for an hour of my time. It doesn't work like that. Just FYI. Yeah, I think 100%, Kevin. 100%, man. It has been a godsend for entrepreneurs. Now, my wife, she wanted to work to get real insurance. I'm hoping to break her of that because Well, I'm hoping to break her on that, but we shall see. In fact, speaking of Kevin from in Mexico, I'm going to talk to my man Devin down there in 2 weeks. We're going to do a live stream in 2 weeks, talk about health insurance in Mexico, because Devin is in Mexico right now. And I was asking about health insurance there. I said, man, I'd like to do a live stream to tell people, because I've talked to a number of people who are in Mexico about the two-tiered system. And, I don't know, I'm not an expert on this by any stretch, but I think that's actually kind of interesting, the way we're going to go here in America. And Devin's down there as we speak. And so, he lives there. So he said, yeah, I'd be happy to share with you what it's like down here. And that'd give you a good knowledge. A, if you're thinking about moving to Mexico, or B, for the two-tiered system that's certainly coming our way. Because it's not, what we're dealing with now is unsustainable. That's all there is to it. All right. I took an early time. I've been working for, right on. Yep. Fantastic. Needs to read Dr. War, The War on Boys. Oh yeah, no, I'm familiar with what's her name there? Helen Smith had written a book on something like that too. Is it Heather McDonald? She has talked about that a lot too. All right. Oh boy, Sergio. Medicaid planning is also playing by the rule, but many frown on it. Yep, I do frown on Medicaid planning. I do. Sold my Exxon, LMT, and Coke today. I'm not sure. Oh, Lockheed Martin. Not going to support that wool crap. I only put up with an index fund, 100%, Tom. Me too, man. Can you talk about 401k and Maggie? I'm not sure what you're asking. When my dogs bark, my mini poodle barks at the front door is hilarious. All right, whatever they do with the healthcare, let me keep my retiree medical. I spent 40 years earning. It's bad enough I had to lose it at 65. Don't make me lose it early with Medicare at 60. Hopefully Kevin can change California. He's not going to win. Newsom's not going anywhere. Sold his Exxon, right on. Oh, does he run as a Dem? Well, that makes sense. Yeah, he should. Okay, good. He should run as a Dem. But he supports that carbon tax, and I won't support. I'm not in California. I won't support anyone who supports a carbon tax. That's evil. All there is to it. Fox endorsed Kevin. Well, that's going to be the kiss of death for him in California. Look, Gruesome is there, man. He's not leaving. He's just, they're not getting rid of Gruesome. That's what I think, Mike. See, maybe, I don't know if Kevin's a conservative. I don't get the implication he is, but he will start a bunch of conservatives running as Democrats. I 100% think that's what's going to happen, because you automatically get what's the word I'm looking for? The media off your back if you run as a D. That's all there is to it. Now, remember, John Silber ran against Bill Weld in Massachusetts. And Silber was a president of Boston University, and he was a Kennedy Democrat. And this is in late 80s, early 90s. But that even then, the Democratic Party had gone astray, if that makes sense. And Silber, because he was a pro-life Democrat, the Democratic Party basically they didn't vote for the Democratic ticket. They instead voted a third party or didn't vote at all. And Bill Weld won as a Mitt Romney Republican before Mitt Romney, as another Connecticut. Who's the guy in Connecticut? John Ralston or something like that. Just these clown Northeast Republicans, and that's big government Republican. That's all there's to it. And so that's why I was shocked when the Libertarian Party allowed Bill Weld to be on their ticket in 2016. I said, look, man, I get Gary Johnson. Gary Johnson was for legalizing marijuana many moons ago. But Bill Weld, I said, man, the Libertarian Party can kiss my big fat behind too, because obviously Bill Weld brought some money, and the Libertarian Party just said, oh, we want to be accepted, please. And then the Libertarian Party threw in with Black Lives Matter, I said, you all can kiss my big fat behind. So at this stage, it's like, the Republican Party is still my home, but running as a conservative on the Democratic Party, all you got to do is win the primary. Now, that'd be tough, but if you could do it, you might find you have an easier shot at winning the general. But don't do that don't run in Congress, do that. You got to do that in a local election, man. Local elections. Everyone on the right says, oh, we got to run for president, Senate, and governor. I'm like, no. You got to start local. Local is where this crap happens. School districts, and all that. I'm telling you, man. Huh. Yeah, I don't know how tall he is. He does look short. I agree. He does look short. Right. All right. I'm actually socially conservative and fiscally liberal in a lot of ways, if that makes sense. Fiscally liberal and socially conservative. But I don't know. I mean, because I'm against abortion. Don't care about gays getting married. Doesn't bother me. Don't care. Legalize everything. There should be no drugs. Everything should be legal. Heroin, yeah, heroin. What else? Well, 100% against abortion. Do I think women should go to jail to have abortion? Silly. No, I don't. What else? I'm missing out something else on socially conservative. Guns, 100%. No regulations on any firearms at all, including nuclear bombs. Okay, nuclear bombs, we can make a regulation on. It'd be stupid. Trying to think. Firecrackers, you can do firecrackers. Don't care. That is a external issue, though. I'll never forget when I lived in New Jersey, and I'll never forget this. We had our house on the market, and we're moving to Texas. No, we're moving here. Moving here, as a matter of fact, is July 4th, and our neighbors. We were just having a party out in our backyard doing fireworks, and we had it as dry as could be, and we had this one big tree above our house, and but it was in New Jersey. There's lots of trees. I said, what happens if you're doing fireworks and you set the tree on fire and it burns down the neighborhood? Who ultimately bears responsibility for that? You see what I'm saying? So it's one of those things, like, even if you make it illegal, doesn't make it go away. And I don't think we need to make anything. There's enough laws out there, but at the end of the day, I'm like, that is an externality that a lot of, I think, like, libertarians and even conservatives don't take in mind, that there are your actions can have big implications for others that someone's got to be held accountable for. Hold on a sec. Now, if you make it legal, does it make the issue go away? No. Illegal, but at the end of the day, it is one of those things. Like, I always remember that. I said, once it burns down the whole neighborhood, right when they're trying to sell our house. California won't change until you flip it. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Remember, there were more Trump voters in California than Trump voters in Texas. So stop this idea that people fleeing California are bringing their blue politics. I mean, some might be, but a lot are not. I'm just telling you, man. I talk to them all the time. That's how big California is. And as such, if many conservatives leave California, that's going to be more conservatives outside of California, which means there's more likelihood that the electoral college will change even more in favor of the right. It's not going to win. Yeah, because you don't know what to call these people. All right. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Dustin over at Jazz Kim. I like Dustin. He's a good guy. He works hard. He's trustworthy as all can be. His fees are very, very reasonable. Big fan. Absolutely. All right. Yeah. All right. Support. Let's see what we got here. Oops. Oof, man, I can't. Ford won't. EV will save them. GE will. Toyota's eating Ford and lunch on reliability, and Toyota's the one who says we can't. The EV craze is stupid. I got so many articles up here I got to read and do. I don't know, but there's one on EVs. Is interesting. Can I make the kids the survivor on an annuity? Yeah. Yeah, man, that's a great. All right, can you make the kids the survivor on an annuity? All right, that's a great question, Lee. I had an idea when I was at USAA of making of that exact. It was literally the exact same thing, and I remember I couldn't do it, and I is the contract at USAA that I could not do it. And I can't remember the issue, but I said, what an idea. Gramps makes a guaranteed income annuity based on his life, and then he makes the child who's 18 years old survivor beneficiary. I said, man, but it wouldn't let me do it. And so I'm assuming the answer to that is no, if your kids are if they're not the age of majority, but you'd have to look at the contract specifically. I can't remember, but even that, I remember trying to make it. I almost want to say if it was not the spouse and there were more than, I want to say 10 years difference, they wouldn't. I can't remember. It was a contract. I just remember I thought about that. And that was a good thing. What do I think about? Yeah, I don't like that act, Steve. I'm not a fan. Is he still pushing that? I know last year Devin interviewed him, or 2 years ago. Is that still out there? Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. I just remember I wasn't a fan back then. I'm not a fan of it now. I think you should listen. I put on my community tab on the YouTube channel. Andrew Biggs was interviewed by Christine Benz at Morningstar just the other day, and it's on YouTube. It's their podcast, but his proposals are freaking awesome. I'm 100% on board with Andrew Biggs' proposals, and you should listen to it. And if you do, you'll say you'll be on board with it too. Because the point about Social Security was to keep people out of poverty. And it's done that without question. It's not, that's the point of Social Security. Always was, always forever be. Keep people out of poverty. So maybe we can give people a little bit of a bump to keep out of poverty, right? But eliminate some of the top line benefits to not people who've paid in, but people coming up, if that makes sense. And I 100% agree with that. So basically what happens is, all right, we'll say everyone has a minimum benefit at $2,000 a month, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And if you paid a little bit more, you'll get a little bit more, but everyone has a minimum benefit. Everyone pays a certain amount in based on employment. And I'm butchering what he said there. But the max benefit is not that much higher than the minimum benefit. But you can't do that to people who've paid in. I mean, that's not fair. So you do it to people who have yet to pay in, or people who just started their career, under the age of 30 or something like that. Say, look, we're all going to pay in. Everyone's got to have a minimum benefit of whatever, $2,000 a month. And then if you pay a little bit more because of your income, you can make $3,000 a month. But if you're making a certain threshold of money, it's on you to start saving. To save for your own retirement. And I completely agree. Social Security was kind of like that. I mean, that's what I was saying. It's like, we got to reduce the top line benefit. Some guy was saying that the other day. I said, dude, the top line benefit is only $3,200 a month. I was like, stop being an idiot, man. The top line benefit is $3,200 a month. And that's it. It's not like a guy's making $150,000 a year in Social Security. I mean, with delayed earnings credits, it's more than that. But that was the actuarial tables that the Social Security Administration used back in 1983. But I mean, I'm sitting there thinking, these freaking people are stupid, man. I'm so sick of this crap. It's like, use your head before you make a stupid comment about Social Security. We got to eliminate, the idea that Bill Gates is making bank on Social Security. It's just freaking stupid. It's stupid. He's not. He's not making bank on Social Security. And he's like, well, he doesn't need the money. I said, hey, the top line benefit. Go tell somebody who made 139 with raising 4 kids that he should have his Social Security reduced because he doesn't need the money because he made the top line benefit. Yeah, go tell that guy. Yeah, come to his house and tell that guy that he won't need the money because he was making the top line benefit. Yeah. Especially who lives in, say, San Francisco or New York City. Go tell that guy, you friggin' fool. I always love, that guy, not me, though. Just like the whole thing. Don't tax you, don't tax me, tax that guy behind the tree. Freaking pisses me off. Oh, yeah, but Josh, you do the same thing. You're damn right I do the same thing. You got to go after these hedge funds managers. They're not making top-line Social Security money. They're making freaking millions and millions and millions and billions a year by pushing papers point A to point B, freaking taking apart companies, freaking taking off the skeleton and selling it to foreign investors, and the foreign investors come in and lay off everybody. Freaking Mitt Romney can kiss my big fat behind, and all these hedge funds guys. That's all they do. They take the carcass of these companies, they tear them up, and they turn around and sell them to foreign companies for a freaking premium. And next thing you know, all these guys are getting laid off. It's such a freaking clown show. Oh, but we don't want to raise taxes. Why don't we freaking have a different conversation? Well, we say, whoa. How is a hedge fund guy? I'm just curious. What are you exactly doing for those billions of dollars? I'm employing people. Actually, you're not. You know why we know that? Because you're letting people go there. Mittens, Romney. Yeah, freaking clown show. Freaking hate that crap. Yeah, so I am a hypocrite. I'll gladly take the mantle of a hypocrite, tax that guy over there who's making too much damn money, not doing anything for society, actually hurting society and hurting communities. All the while pushing for cheap labor to come over here too and destroying communities of freaking working people in the United States. And that's where I'm freaking losing my fiscal conservatism, because the fiscal conservatism has sold a bill of goods for many years. My goodness, man. I would love to have a flat tax. It's never going to happen because the politicians got too much power and prestige because they get to choose the tax code by the big farmers of the world writing the bills and the big insurance and the big labor. So it's never going to happen. A flat tax would be great. The Dick Armey flat tax from 1993. I got the Dick Armey flat 1993, I think. The Dick Armey flat tax. I got the book. Fantastic. Never going to happen. And because it's never going to happen, okay, so why don't we go after people who freaking, and I say go after, it's not like we're going to come out. I'm just saying, look, you're making too much money. You should pay some more to the freaking federal treasury who allows you to make so much money. Yeah, that does sound like Elizabeth Warren, and you didn't build that. I mean, it's stupid. They did build it. But a hedge fund, I'm sorry. No, you might not have seen it. Look, I've dealt with some of these guys, and they make bank. It's sickening how much these guys make. Sickening. And it's not right. It's not right when we have people who can't even freaking afford their health care. We're sitting there like, I got to stay in some crappy old woke job because health care is freaking, $2,000 a month because I'm making just a little bit more than to qualify for Obamacare subsidies. While hedge fund manager is freaking making $25 million a month. Screw that, man. Oh, but that's going to kill the capital markets. I always hear that. And then the next thing you know, Bill Gates is buying all this farmland. How's he doing it? He's selling his Amazon stock, his Microsoft stock to pay for this. They're giving all this money away. How are they doing it? You think when Bill Gates gives his money to a freaking World Wildlife Fund just sits on a stock, you don't think they turn around and sell that to pay their freaking rich hoity-toity, the people who work there? So how's that not kill the capital markets? Screw that, man. I'm sick of this crap. You got so many people who just done what they're supposed to do with Social Security, with their 401ks and all this crap. And the 401k has been a godsend. I'm telling you, it's made more people upper middle class than could ever happen under the history of mankind. I grant you that. Is that steady? Is that stable? Is that likely to come over the next 40 years? I truly do not believe so. I do not believe so. And the reason I don't believe so is because we were the only game in town for many years. On top of that, you can look at the numbers on the freaking equity markets relative to the debts that has been achieved out there. And you can say, there's been a lot of debt that's propping this up. I'm not saying the Federal Reserve debt. I'm saying a lot of margin debt, a lot of things like that nature. No different than the real estate market is banked on debt. And as such, we have a lot of debt that's out there supporting the equities. And we were the only game in town for many years. These companies are so big, so fat, that they're just there's not going to have the earnings that we've had over the last 50 years. It's not going to happen. And as such, that the earnings are not nearly what they were. What does that do to the freaking price to earnings ratios? You see what I'm saying? So one thing's got to give. The price to earnings ratios, which is not low right now, is either going to go higher, or it's going to flatten, or it's going to go down. One of those three things. Flat means you're not making any money. Go down means you lost money, or go higher above a premium as it is now. I don't see how that's likely to happen. It could, I grant you. An increasing dividends, absolutely. That's why I'm so adamant on dividends, because while you can't rely on PE ratio appreciation in stocks, you can rely, to some regard, more so on dividends. But Josh, they don't pay dividends. They buy back their shares. Okay, maybe that party's probably coming to an end soon. I don't know, but I do know companies that do pay dividends, they pay dividends because they know the minute they stop paying those dividends, their share price is going to drop in the toilet, just like what happened to Macy's, just like what happened to GE, and what everyone's thinking is going to happen to Exxon, the same exact thing. They stop paying the dividends. Once you're accustomed to Exxon or some stock paying the dividends, they stop paying dividends. That is not a good look. I'm telling you right now. And guess who doesn't want to have their share price decline? Oh, it's the board of directors. You know why? Because they all have equity in the company as well. And that's how they buy their beach houses and they go on Epstein Island. All right. So let's keep going here. Ford still sell ICE vehicles. Yeah. Oh my goodness, they make so much money in Ford F-150s. It's nuts, man. Harry just thinks the that ICEs are going the way of the dodo bird. I don't think so. I don't think so. Yep. Ford makes the best pickup trucks, the F-150s. That's what sells big. You would have to be awful woke to try to change what everybody knows is. I mean, there are more pickup trucks sold in the U.S. by far than any other vehicle, and the biggest selling pickup truck is the Ford F-150. So if you are messing with that, you're freaking idiotic. There's no way around that. There's no way around that. So if Ford wants to mess with their F-150 with an electric vehicle as an option, that's fine. But if they think about replacing that, that's just freaking stupid, man. Tesla has almost no debt and $20 billion in cash. Yeah, and they got no earnings either. Yeah, exactly. They just issue more debt. They don't have to take on more shares. They don't have to take on debt. Yeah, Tom McDonald. I like Tom McDonald, man. Meta Share, Carlos. You have to be a Christian, but Meta Share sells. They don't call it insurance. They call it health. Well, health shares is what literally it's called. All right, so yeah, my mom and I screwed up, confused, picked the 10-year paid out for her pension. Last payment was May 2021. Oh, man. Wait, she picked the 10-year paid out for her 10-year period certain. Well, that'll make sense. She passed in 2010, but the last payment was 2021. And that doesn't seem like you screwed up, man. I'm not sure. At what point do you tell an investor they've invested in too many funds or ETFs? I mean, this is why everyone's down on the TSP. There's not enough investments. Says, what more do you need? You got the C, the S, the I, the F, the G. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. Best black music on the planet, late 70s and 80s. I'm not so sure about that. But one thing with Tesla, no engine noise. And 0 to 60 in like 1.2 seconds now, I'm understanding. Yeah, exactly. 100% electric cars will run many children over because they sneak up on it. Yep. Oh, right. But kids don't play and go out anymore. Yep. Yeah, someone just said black music in the 70s and 80s. All right. No such thing as free money, Harry. Someone's going to pay for it. Hey, $10. All right. Someone says something. Let's see. You gave me confidence to retire at age 62. Your advice helped me start Roth conversions last year. Your Social Security book convinced me to postpone my benefit. Thanks for your help. All right. Thank you, sir. I'll take that 10 schmackers from you. Actually, YouTube will get their 35%, and I'll get my 65. But yeah, right on. Appreciate that, sir. Best voice I've ever heard was Brian McKnight live. No, I think I'm going to be she, he. I think that's what I'll be, she, he, to confuse everybody. You open a phone call in regards to a consultation about your opinion regarding? No, I'm not open for that. Sorry. Yes, okay, let's see. I hate, it always creeps me out. A great Memorial Day weekend. It seems to be and I appreciate it for a Flash. I just, I don't like a great Memorial Day weekend. It's like we're forgetting what Memorial Day was for. And it's I don't know, it's not really to celebrate, if that makes sense. It's to remember, and hopefully we don't fight any more wars. The idiocy of what we put men through and the women who left behind. That's the thing that freaking ticks me off too. And I tell you about this book all the time. I'll bring it up again. Hold on a second. It's I gotta fight in a war to prove I'm a man. Yeah, no, you don't. So we're gonna bring up Savage Continent right here. You all see that? Yeah. It's evil, man. It's evil. Superb. The Second World War might have ended in May 1945, but it really rambled on for another 10 years. The end of World War II is remembered as a time when cheering crowds filled the street, but the reality is quite different. Across Europe, landscapes have been ravaged, entire cities razed, and more than 30 million people have been killed in the war. The institutions we now take for granted, such as police, blah, 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 were either relatively absent or compromised. Crime soared, economies collapsed, and whole populations hovered on the brink of starvation. Author Keith Lowe describes a continent where individual Germans and collaborators were rounded up and summarily executed. Concentration camps were reopened, and violent anti-Semitism was reborn. And the monstrous acts of ethnic cleaving and some of the monstrous acts of ethnic cleansing the world's ever seen. Tens of millions were expelled from their ancestral homelands. Anyways, evil stuff, man. It's just some evil stuff there, and it's the women left behind. What's it called? Hold on just a second. It was I'm drawing a blank what that word is. Hold on just a second. It was called. Hold on, I gotta find this book. Hold on a second. Oh yeah. Here's another one too. Ersatz and the Confederacy: Shortages and Substitutes on the Southern Home Front by that lady, Mary Elizabeth Massey. Same thing. She talks about the men are off to war and the women were left behind to cope, and it was harder for them than it was for the men fighting. So we always think about the men out there, yeah, but how about the ladies stuck back? Just evil stuff. War is so evil. It's not glorious. It's not honorable. It's evil, and that's why I'm 100% unequivocally against the draft. Why should I send my children to fight some other man's war? You know what I'm saying? Stupid. And the people who do and fight, look, like I said last live stream, my great uncle took out the Japanese battleship Chikimura, something like that. And very proud, very honorable, absolutely. But at the end of the day, why are we sending people against their will to fight these battles that this freaking clown politician told us that this nuts? You shouldn't do that. It's evil. You like that, did you, Matt? Huh? Pretty funny. You like that joke? All right. Harry, all the good music has already been recorded. All right, so we got 26 rule, 14 hurrah. Wow, pretty good. 100% VTSAX. Gonna hold off stock retirement to invest in the company. All right. Oh, that's what he's saying. Yeah, he's part owner in a new business. He's going to hold off on investing in his stock retirement investing to invest in company. The best way to get wealthy is to invest literally in a business, not a stock business like a stock market. It's literally a business. Now, a lot of them fail, but the ones that don't, that's literally the best way to get rich. There's no other way around that. All right. Getting ready to retire. Should I take out 300 cash or 2K a month? Well, if you only need that's a loaded question there. If you only need 2K a month and you took out 300 cash, that's a lot of cash. It's going to cover you for many years. That would seem pretty a lot. On top of that, if you're taking it out of like a 401k, that's a pretty significant tax hit. So I'd probably take out 25,000 a year, but maybe give yourself 150 of the cash and leave the rest. Steve says he loves listening to me and Devin. His life is boring. Steve, I'm a taken man, dude, and I don't go that way. Just FYI, but you might be able to convince me. I'm open for experimentation. Oh man, did I miss something? Carol, big money retirement. Yeah. Yep. Elon been lobbying Biden for a carbon tax. It's coming, man. It's coming. Yikes. He was for lockdowns? All right. Plan on retiring in September. 1.6 million mil. Only debts 20,000 on my home. Only concerns healthcare. Even if you're paying $1,000 a month in healthcare, I mean that's $12,000. Over a course of 7 years or so, 8 years or so, that's that'd make a small dent in your 1.6 million. You'll be fine. Yeah, remind me. I love it. Remind me what Tesla's PE is again. Yep. Meet Kevin spread FUD. What the hell's FUD? I always forget what that means about Tesla back. I subscribed. Well, subscribe. All you do is you click this button that says subscribe. So come on, Harry. Wow, you subscribe. Woo! I did this thing. Other than risk tolerance, are there other metrics you can use to determine how far to let your portfolio value drop? Yeah, you literally forget the stupid risk tolerance. You say, I got $100,000. An average market bear is 25%. A 25% decline happens every 4 years or so. All right. But sadly, it's not boom, boom, boom down, boom, boom, boom down. It's not coordinated like that. It's every 4 years a bear market happens. So if you're sitting a year from now on 75,000 as opposed to 100,000, would you be able to sleep at night? Now, if you're still working, the nice thing is you're still plugging. So let's say you're putting out $1,000 a month into your 401k with your money and your employers. All right. So $1,000 a month. So your market goes down from 100,000 to 75,000, but you also added another $12,000. So you're still at $87,000. So in truth be told, you're only down 13%, if that makes sense. That's a lot easier to contend with if you're plugging money in. I tell you, the difference between putting money in and taking money out is the difference between night and day. So if you're taking money out, on the other hand, you're down 25%. Now you're also down the 25% decline in the markets plus the 12,000 you took out. So that's a challenge. That's what you got to look at. So okay, if I was down 25% and put in dollars, not percentages, you got to put in dollars. A year from now, would I be okay? And the problem is that you can't just say, okay, so I would be okay there. But what happens if you went down another 15%? You see what I'm saying? And this is where people forget. Just because you can look in hindsight, said, would I be able to handle the 1973 and 74 decline? Well, in 1975, the beginning, you didn't know that was at the end. March of 2009, you did not know that was the end. You see what I'm saying? March 23rd of 2020, you did not know that was the end. This is what drives me insane. If I could handle a 25% decline, could you now? Could you? Because when it's happening, it's a hell of a lot different than looking at it 20 years later. So yeah, I can handle that, especially if you're retired. Now, if you're not retired, you're just plugging money in. Yeah, more power to you. I bet you could. If you are retired, I'm telling you, man, could you? And this is going to go into one of the things I'm going to talk about in the next couple of days about some ideas I have to protect that downside. I'm not going to get into it yet. But again, anytime you're protecting downside, you're sacrificing upside. You can't have both. You can't. If you want stock-like returns, you have to be in the stock market naked with no protection. There's no other way around that. If you want protection, you're going to sacrifice some upside. That's all there is. This is not rocket science here. It's easy. Everybody knows this, but yet people say, "Oh, you can have." I was watching some clown. Yes. Oh, someone sent me this video. So ticked me off what this guy was saying. I was like, dude, you're either you're too ignorant of an advisor on YouTube, either you're too ignorant about what you're selling here, or you're misleading people. Either one is not acceptable. So remember, this guy was trying to pawn an annuity of some sort, and he said it has a guaranteed of 7-8% a year increase. I said, no, it does not have a guarantee of 7-8% increase. It doesn't. It might have I bet it doesn't have this. It might have a guaranteed on the increasing income stream, and I highly suspect it's not that either, because I've yet to hear an annuity that gives you a guarantee of 7-8% increase on the annuities on the income stream. Actually, I should not say that. For 10 years, yeah, no, that's probably true, actually, now I think about it. But anyway, I said, no, it does not have a guarantee of 7-8% increase on the cash value. Maybe on the income stream, but not the cash value. And that income stream is actually valuable. You see what I'm saying? So point being was, he goes, oh, you get 7-8% a year guaranteed. So and you don't have any risk in the market, whatever it was. I was like, dude, it's so frustrating because that's not true. What this guy was saying is and I'll get more into this next time, but on the guaranteed annuities, the deferred income annuities, where you're basically saying, look, I'm going to turn over $100,000 to an insurance company. I'm 60 years old. In 10 years, I don't know what that $100,000 will be worth. It could be more, it could be less. But I do know I'll have $200,000 for which I can draw usually 5% a year from. Okay. Now that could be adjusted with inflation. It could be adjusted up with inflation, but it'll never go below that 5%. So in this case, it'll never go below $10,000. Could go more, but never go up. But the cash value will certainly not give you market-like returns, because anytime you have these guarantees, you're paying fees for it. And the fees aren't cheap, if that makes sense. And I'm not against these products. They're annuities. I'm not against them at all. In fact, I think in this day and age, it might be even more accommodating to look at for sure. But at the end of the day, the implication was you'll get 7-8% guaranteed on your cash value, what I call walk away money, and you won't. And no one in their right mind should ever say something, who's an advisor, that allows people to walk away from that thinking that's what you get. So because what's going to happen is, whoa, you're saying I can get 7-8% guaranteed? Well, hell, sign me up right now. All right, just defer Social Security. No, I don't want that. That's not what see, isn't that funny? Whoa, you're telling me I can get 7-8% guaranteed a year, adjusted for inflation? Yeah, it's called Social Security. No, that's weird. But if someone says I can get 7-8% guaranteed in an annuity product, you're like, oh yeah, sign me up. Well, I just want to be sure. That's not your cash value, not your walk-away money. That's just on the income stream. Oh, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, shut the wall. Yeah, right. Tom says, you think Harry has sort of stake in Tesla? Right on, man. Ford's got a PE of 14.8. I remember my mom she made some money in Ford many years ago. I bought some shares in Ford, and I did okay. Let's see, what's Ford doing nowadays? I haven't looked at Ford in a long time. That was at like 6. Oh yeah, Ford's whoa, what the hell is happening to Ford, man? It was at 1133 just 2 weeks ago. Now it's up 50%, 40% in 2 weeks. What's going on? Whoa, what, why, Morningstar, Ford's on the right road from Bronco EV to profit target. All right. There we go. Ford stock jumps as plans to offer more electric vehicle earns Wall Street praise. And that's the problem. It earns Wall Street praise. Does it earn the pickup truck buyers praise? No. Yep. Ford's $30 billion investment in electric revs up its in-house battery research and development. This whole thing is so damn corrupt from front to bottom. Just say, I'm going to start an electric vehicle car company, Invest in me. You know what else I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have we're gonna start an electric vehicle car company, and I'm gonna create all my batteries with solar panels. Invest in me. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna donate to save the polar bears from climate change. Invest in me. Send me your money. So there you go. So I have research and development of battery technology using solar panels in my wind turbines. They have nothing but electric vehicles, and in fact, we're going to make it so I have a woman's the CEO. That's what we'll do. A woman's the CEO. Yep, that's what we'll do. And we're going to put all profits to saving the polar bears in Antarctica. I bet I could raise $1 billion just like that. No, well. No, you know what I should do? I should get a guy from Guatemala. No, it won't be that. For some reason the libs aren't so keen on Guatemalans so much. I got to find maybe a young teenage white girl from Sweden. I could say she'll be the one because some reason if you're a lib, you know those Africans and Guatemalans and stuff. Yeah, we like you, but as long as you stay over there, you know. But we like the rich white girls from Sweden. With parents who are very woke, who are actresses and I don't know some tuba player or something like that, who travel around with the Davos crowd. So we'll invest in you, and you can come to our parties. Those other people, no, we want them, and then we can get rich. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be a she/he named Greta with ponytail, and that's gonna be my company, the Greta EV company. We're going to make bank, folks. We're going to make bank. It's going to be awesome. All right, let's see here. Royal Dutch to cut his carbon emissions by 45%. A Dutch court on Wednesday ordered Royal Dutch Shell to cut its carbon emissions by 45%. A Dutch court did. Was that a law? I mean, or is that just a Dutch court telling them to do it? I mean, if it's a law, it's one thing. You got to operate within the law, but it's just a Dutch court saying. I think it always makes sense to save money in these nuts. Absolutely. Well, I'm not sure. Are those mutually exclusive? Do you have some money on the side? I guess I don't know. Invest in yourself, says Harry. But yeah, I mean, having some money on the side just gives you flexibility to. I hate to say it, but leave whatever the hell you're doing and say I'm going to use some of this money to go on to bigger and better things. Let it both these does. Yeah, right on. All right. I guess, hey, Greta, you ruined my childhood. Exactly. Oh, my lands. Have you looked at, have I looked up SCHD? We did that starting this thing, man. 100%. All right. Sweet. So then people will buy my cars then. Wife's 2 years younger. If she takes her small Social Security early, will her spousal benefit be permanently reduced? Yes. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Buying a small, nice condo with limited maintenance could be the best of both worlds. Yeah, but watch those condos fees. They can get you pretty heavy. I agree, though, Joe. Electric vehicles never be big sellers until the infrastructure is in place. I completely agree. I mean, we know for a fact people buy them as a second car for low, going around the neighborhood. They're not using, even the rich kids in California still have first cars or ICEs, to do their heavy transportation. It's just that simple, man. And I think it's funny too that the idea that electricity just comes from the magic electricity tree. Electricity, it just falls from the sky. We just plug it into the electricity tree. How's it generated? From that tree, the electricity tree. Yeah, but I get it. But how is the electricity generated from which the electricity tree we plug into? How is it generated? From the tree. It's an electricity tree. Just falls. Huh. Okay. So the electricity tree has electricity, but again, how? How are those electrons moving within that electricity tree? Yeah, you're a Luddite. You still think horse and buggies are the way to go, don't you? No, I just want to know how you're generating that electricity. Solar panels, 200-watt, 25% efficiency solar panels, and wind turbines that give us 3 watts per square meter. Oh, okay. Your solar panels give me how many watts per square meter? About 40. Oh, okay. So 40 watts per square meter for a solar panel at a 25% efficiency. And then we get a wind turbine, which will even say 4 watts per square meter on the most exceptional day. And that's going to generate all the electricity we need, not just now to power your electric vehicle, but also we're getting rid of natural gas. So we're going to have electricity for our range, right? We have ovens, electricity. Ranges are electricity. Heating your homes with heat pumps are electricity. That's going to work because of electricity tree, because solar panels and electric and wind turbines. Yeah, it's great. And where are you going on vacation? I'm going to Davos. It's going to be fantastic. How you getting there? I'm taking a plane. Oh, what kind of plane? I got a private jet because I'm so rich. Oh, that's fantastic. Interesting. And what's the emissions you're spewing from that private jet? No, I buy a carbon tax credit. Oh, interesting. We're not dealing with the best and brightest, my friends. But I do eat vegan. I do, and I don't like those chemicals on my food. So I eat organic. Did you get the vax? Yes, of course I got the vax. Okay, gotcha. So we're eating vegan. We buying carbon tax credits. We don't like chemicals in our food. We're getting the vax. Solar panels and wind turbines. Got it. And you're flying to Davos. Got it. Sad thing is that is literally a good portion of the United States right now. This is why we're doomed. That's a good doomed. There's going to be a come to Jesus moment for half the country, probably 60% of the country, and then 40% of the country is going to be fine. And it's going to be fun while it lasts. Until then, just remember, it's collapsing, but this isn't unusual. I mean, we've been warned about this since the dawn of mankind. Man is fallen. Man will fall. And the rise of Jesus will come again to save us all. That rhymes. And so salvation is coming. The question is when, where, and how. We don't know. But, my goodness, you can't keep this up, man. My goodness. You cannot have a society run by woke women. You can't. It's going to be destroyed internally. And then ultimately, it's being destroyed internally. And then it's going to be destroyed externally. This is just a fact. Woke women cannot run a society. And that doesn't mean woke women are evil. It just means they don't have what it takes to run a society to keep us free from domestic and foreign people who want to hurt us. They can't. It's a man's world where men defend. And right now, men are being castrated where they can't say what is true needs to be said. That you shall not pass. You shall not pass. And we all know this. It's not anti-women the least. It's pro-women. Because we want our women out there to be defended from the freaking people who are coming down to grab us all, the Visigoths and whatnot who are coming, and they don't play the woke crap. That's for sure. And when they come, it doesn't matter what your PhD says. The Visigoths are coming, and you're going to be the wokes are going first, if that makes sense. Yeah. So enjoy it while you can. And yes, at the end of the day, I'm absolutely optimistic. Because we have the collapsing and we have the growing. The collapsing is the West, by and large, but there's certain pockets of the West that are growing. Live, be fruitful, multiply, who are doing that. And as such, these people are going to be there when the fall happens. And again, it might not be in my lifetime, might not be my kids' lifetime. I have no idea. The way it's going right now, though, man, it is awful. It is happening fast and furious, and it's going to be fun to behold and watch. So don't get too frustrated. Don't get too, what's the word I'm looking for? Don't get too depressed. Just smile. Remember that we know how the book ends. It's right here. If you need a reminder, pick up the book and highlight. You take you by all means, go to the New Testament, which a lot of people do, and to get your highlight out and start highlighting the passages you want to refer back to. Let's see, I picked up this one right here. This is in John 6:56. What was that? I don't have my reading glasses. So 6:34. Sir, they said, from now on, give us this bread. Then Jesus declared, I am the bread of life. He who comes to me will never go hungry, and he who believes in me will never be thirsty. But as I told you, you have seen me, and still you do not believe. All that the Father gives me will come to me, and whoever comes to me, I will never drive away. So as you're never too late to love Jesus. And by the way, as someone posted on my website on the YouTube channel, I don't believe in Jesus. I said, I don't believe in God. Yeah, you don't have to believe in God, but God believes in you. He believes in you, and he's ready for you to come back. The problem is the further you get away from God, the harder, and actually the more your heart shrinks, the blacker it becomes, the harder it is for the Holy Spirit to penetrate. Now, God could force the Holy Spirit to penetrate, I grant you, but he doesn't want to do that. It's by free will. So as such, you become more and more removed from all of his glory. Here's the Son of God, literally the Son, the everything, the fountainhead. And you're slowly shifting away. Your heart's getting harder, it's getting blacker, and at some point it will be impenetrable, and then you're lost. And that's your choice. Like C.S. Lewis says, God says, we say, God, thy will be done, and then God will say to you, thy will be done, and thy will be, you will be removed from him for eternity. And that will be hell. Whether that means you'll be burning into hell in a pit of fire, I don't know. I don't think that you even need to be. I think you'll be so miserable without God's love and so keen to prove you don't need God's love for all of eternity, you'll forever be fighting a battle. Say, I don't need God. There's no God, and you'll never be happy. And it's sad because we who believe and have asked for forgiveness will say we are with God for eternity, rest, and salvation. And whatever else glory is waiting for us, I don't know. It's gonna be great though. It's gonna be a hell of a lot better than living here. And so spread the good cheer, be of good cheer, be of good faith. Remember, Jesus will win. The book is written, and don't hide behind your faith. What I mean by that, don't hide it under a bushel. No, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. You need to do that more and more. More people need to see that you're happy in your faith, because happiness is attractive. It's addictive. It's alluring. Smile. Show those pearly yellows. And people say, why are you so happy? Say, because I love God and God loves me. And but they're going to sit there one day and they're going to say, that guy Josh, why is he so confident? I don't like my life. Maybe he's got something that I would like to have. Oh my goodness, this is now a religious channel. We got dogs, we got religion, we got sports, we got politics. I just want finances. It's all good, man. It's all good. All right, so this lady says, woke woman, you can't believe the seemingly smart, intelligent men I work with that live in a fantasy land, although so there you go, God bless. Okay, I'm not understand what you're saying there, but okay, well, trust me, there are plenty of gamma men out there who are even worse than woke women. I trust me. Jeez. They've been castrated, told that they shouldn't be men. As such, they try to be male feminists. And there ain't nothing worse than a male feminist. All right, I'm getting out of here, my friends. God bless. Love you all. Peace out and smile. Show those pearly yellows. Thanks now.